Thank you for joining me today. I want to discuss something that's not talked about enough in today's society, which is the pressure of being something you're not or having things that you don't need. This kind of pressure shows up in many different ways, but I want to focus on 5 specific things to be careful of throughout your life. Why be careful for these things, you might ask? Well, these things can really take a toll on somebody's mental health, and it usually comes in the form of making you feel like you're not good enough. So first thing on the list that I want you to be wary of is your salary, or how much money you make at your job. For whatever reason, society today has tied your self-worth to the amount of money that you make. It's actually even considered disrespectful asking somebody how much they make. I remember growing up, I asked somebody that I was genuinely curious of because I was thinking of going into the same field that they were working in. And I asked them if they made pretty good money. I didn't even ask how much they made, but I said, "Are you making pretty good money?" And everybody was just kind of shocked that I asked that. And it's such a weird concept that you tie the amount of money you make to who you are as a person. Just know that the amount of money that you make doesn't reflect who you are and how much you're worth. And if you don't make a lot of money right now, that's completely okay. You might be at a point in your life where you are struggling, or you might just be starting out in the job field. But even if you don't make that much money, it doesn't matter. But whatever point in life that you're in, it doesn't make you any less or more of a person. We're all in different circumstances, and that doesn't change who you are as a person or your value as a person. Now, number 2 is similar, and that's to not tie your self-worth to the size of your house. Whether you're renting a room, an apartment, or you own your own house, the square footage of your home doesn't make you better or worse than your next door neighbor or the guy across the street. And having a big fancy house doesn't necessarily equal happiness. And living in a small room doesn't necessarily mean you have a small future. I remember growing up as a teenager that my mom would always be working. She was a single parent trying to take care of her kids. And at some point we lived in somebody's basement, but that didn't stop my mom from working super hard, not just for me, but for my sister and for anybody else that was going to be affected by her hard work. And because of her hard work, I was able to get out of that. Just because you're living in a difficult circumstance today doesn't mean that that's going to be how it is for the rest of your life. Now, number 3, I'm kind of sticking with the financial aspect of things at the moment, but the next thing to be wary of is very similar to number 1 and 2, but don't connect your self-worth to the price of your car. Having an expensive car is really nice, but if you can't afford it, you're going to have a pretty rough financial situation for the next decade or 2. And not only that, but the stress and the financial burden can definitely take a big toll on your mental health. It's not worth all the stress just to impress people or just to say, "Hey, look at the car I got." Now, it's completely okay to have a used car. And I'm going to say this straight up, but no one who actually is important in your life will care about what you're driving. The only people that are going to care what you drive are people who are not important in your life at all. Now, number 4 is probably, in my opinion, the hardest to overcome, which is social media. Now, I'm not here to tell you to stay off of social media. Obviously, we're using a social media platform right now. But what I am saying is just to be careful on the type of content that you're engaging in or that you're consuming. Most of the things that we see online now are fake, behind the filters and the perfect lifestyles. And now with AI, most people that you see on camera have problems just like you and me. And a lot of these people that we follow have a lot of money, but that doesn't necessarily mean they don't have problems. As a famous rapper once said,
"The more money you make, the more problems you get."
All right, last but not least, number 5, don't feel pressured to follow the timeline. Now, what is the timeline? What does this mean? Well, it starts off at a very young age, from birth, actually, from the time you were born. When your parents start worrying that you're not crawling by a certain time, or you haven't said your first words by a certain age, or you haven't started walking, and then you grow up and you're supposed to have a car or learn how to drive, or you're supposed to have a job, and you need to have graduated college, high school by a certain time. You also need to get married. You need to have kids by a certain time. You should have done fill in the blank by a certain time. Now, all of these points, the money, the house, the cars, the timeline, they're all connected by this fake, made-up schedule. Now, the gist of this video is super simple. Stop comparing yourself to others. You might be on chapter 5 of a book, your neighbor, your best friend, or some complete stranger might be on chapter 20. Just know that you'll have time to get there. But if you only worry about, oh, what do they already know? Why are they already there? Why are they so far ahead of me? you'll lose sight of where you're supposed to be. You'll be so worried that you need to catch up, that you need to be where these other people are, that before you know it, you'll be on chapter 20, but you'll have no idea what happened in the last 15 chapters. Now, this video isn't to say that you can't have nice things. You can have a nice house, you can have a nice car, you can make lots of money, but don't let those things define you. Don't let those things consume your whole being. Because as the saying goes, we buy things we don't need with money we don't have to impress people we don't like. Or worse, people who don't even know we exist. All this to say, be careful not to compare yourself to others with what they have or don't have, do, don't do. We're all in different stages of life with different circumstances that we're born into. And there are so many other factors that go into this that comparing ourselves to other people eventually seems kind of silly. At some point you realize that you're comparing yourself to this other person who's 15 chapters ahead, but then you realize that you're not even reading the same book. Just know that if you're working towards your goals, your own personal goals, you're on the right path. No matter how long it takes, just keep doing it one step at a time, one page at a time, one chapter at a time. Now, I hope this video helps somebody out there. I don't know why I decided to do a video like this. It's a little different than what I'm used to, but I thought it'd be a good idea to share some of those things with you. But let me know in the comments what you guys think and what other topics you might want me to cover that weren't taught in school that you wish were. I know these kind of topics aren't mentioned at all in school. I mean, nobody really tells you how to cope with things that other people have when you don't. So I hope that helps somebody. I hope that brings some type of enlightenment to somebody out there. But thanks for sticking around and thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.